Hey everybody, welcome to another deck review here at This Magic House. So today we have the Many Queens Tarot deck to show you. This deck has been out for a couple of years. It was successfully kickstarted in 2018, but I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it, so I wanted to show it to you guys. I think it's a really great deck for people who are looking for a deck that has more queer representation and more femme representation. So yeah, let's start looking at it. First I'll say that the deck is by Lettie Rennekamp, and she is an illustrator, and this is her first tarot deck. It's very much an art deck. It's very much an illustration deck, but it's also very clearly and easy to read tarot deck. So presentation-wise, comes in a tarot box with a lift-off top. The box, the top layer, fully covers the bottom with half-moon cutouts for fingers. So nice, sturdy, solid box. There is a short little white book included, and there's a few ideas in the front about spread suggestions, and then just for each card, a brief overview of what the upright position and what the reverse position means for each of the cards. And again, it's pretty much in keeping with the Rider-Waite system, and there's nothing really in here about the artwork specifically chosen for each of the cards. It's really just what the cards mean in the traditional system. We'll see when we flip through the cards that the cards are very much in keeping with the traditional illustrations, just with the modern artwork. So they're pretty easy to understand. The Little White Book is actually, it's a nicely laid out book. The font size is good. It's positioned well on the page. There are some very small illustrations sprinkled through it for visual detail. And there's even page numbers and telling you what section it is. So this one, this says that you're on page 6, and this is the Major Arcana, and then this is page 7, and this is the Cup section. So, there's that little, it's just a nice touch. Let's look at the cards. They are black and white. And first I want to say, Many Queens, what does that mean? So all of the illustrations of the deck can be described as queen in some way. They are a variety of genders, but they all skew towards the femme. The purpose in making this deck, the artist has said, is really to show a variety of different body sizes, a variety of different genders, a variety of different relationship statuses, so that, it's not friendship and love are really kind of intertwined. She wants to, go into that. It's a very modern, feminist, queer deck. So, and I know a lot of people are really looking for that to kind of counteract the more traditional imagery in tarot decks. So I think this is a really good update if you're looking for that. And it's a good update. It's a good deck to have if you read for clients who aren't in a traditional role in society in some way, that they are looking for something that's more queer, they are looking for something that is more feminine, they are looking for something that just shows different body types and different relationship statuses and different ethnicities. These are all black and white line drawings, but she does try to incorporate different ethnicities in their facial features. So, yeah, I think this is a good deck if you read for clients to have on hand that they can choose from. Yeah, so the cards themselves, they are large cards. They are 3.5 by 5 inches. She does make a smaller version that she calls the shuffle deck, which is half the size. It's like that, which are made to be able to be carried around easier, to be able to shuffle easier, as I mentioned, but these pretty much are much larger than my hand. So she does make a smaller version for people looking for a smaller version. The major arcanas do not have any borders. It's just the illustration with the white background. The minor arcana do have a very small line border that's about 1/4 of an inch from the edges of the cards. So the minor and the majors are separated in that way. One thing, I know there's a few cards that are not in portrait layout. So we have here the Knight of Swords, which is in a landscape layout, and there are a few other cards as well that are in a landscape layout. Actually, I have to check. Was it all the knights? No, because the Knight of Wands is in portrait mode. So it's just, kind of mixing it up from the artistic style of which ones are portrait and which ones are landscape. The Hanged Man, the numbers are in both Arabic numerals and Roman numerals. Most of the majors just have the numbers in Roman, but it's also, to keep it mixed up. The numbers in pretty much all of the deck are in Roman numerals, but there are occasionally some Arabic numerals. When I say, there's a lot of genders, here is the Emperor, who has both masculine and feminine aspects to him, or to them, I suppose. Same with the Hierophant right here. So, there's definitely a lot of different gender representations shown. The cards are generally pretty light emotionally. So we have Death, which is just, a skeleton on a horseback. The Devil is one of the darker cards, but it's still, when comparison to other devil cards in other decks, it's not particularly traumatic. So if you have people who are looking for, a lighter deck with something that is, less heavy, less doom and gloom, then this is a good deck as well. It's a very positive deck. The swords are represented by these daggers. The suit is called swords. Wands is represented by a variety of staffs. There are, there's usually a staff with something on the end, but what that thing is kind of varies from deck to deck. Maybe from card to card, from number to number. The pentacles, they're labeled pentacles. They're mostly represented by these diamonds. Here's the Five of Pentacles. You can see the diamonds in the window. So, they're called pentacles, but they're shown by diamonds, which will make it easier to read if you're kind of switching between an older style deck and this deck, because they're labeled with the traditional labels, even though they have updated artwork. And the cups are vases, although some of them, like the Four of Cups here, are these kind of mask shapes. And here the Six of Cups is another landscape mode. So, yeah, there's the labels are traditional. The artwork is definitely updated for a modern reader. I mentioned that these are large. They are exactly the same size, actually, as the Vlad Dracula deck that I've reviewed previously. So I'm assuming they're going to shuffle the same. Yeah, I think they're actually from the same printing company. Very different artwork, very different base of people who are going to be buying these two decks. But they are, I believe they're printed at the same company, and these do shuffle very nicely for large cards. And again, if you have small hands, shuffle from the sides. It will make things much easier to shuffle for you, to not try to grip with your hands along the long way of the card. It's hard to do this. It's not that hard to do this. Let's see. Yeah. They fan really nice. So, yeah, I think that it's a good working deck. The imagery is clear and readable. There is, it's simplistic enough to not be distracting, but it also has enough detail to read intuitively and to pick up details between cards and how they interact. It adds a lot of gender and sexuality representation that other tarot cards are missing, so it's a good deck to have in your collection, especially if you read for other people who are going to want to see themselves represented and who are not represented in a traditional tarot deck. So I will do a flip through at the end of this so that you can see the cards individually, and I hope that this was useful for you. If you already have the deck, or if you are interested in buying the deck, I would love to see your comments below and what you think of it, and what you think about how they represent and how they interpret certain cards. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, come back for more. I will be publishing new videos every week, so I hope to see you back here. Thank you.